you ever shown, I Married Satan?
No.
How about the sequel, I Married Satan 2?
No. I can only play G-rated movies.
Oh, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with G-rated movies as long as there's lots of sex and violence. Hey, listen, Bob.
Happy Halloween, Katrina Porter.
Happy Halloween, Anna Serene.
Boobs.
Wait, oh. You know what I just realized?
What?
That rhymes. Happy Halloween, Anna Serene.
I love that.
Yeah.
Welcome to Split Happens, Everyone Else.
Welcome, everybody.
Each episode, Katrina and I discuss a movie we both really love, but only one of us gets to say how great it is, and they're the pro of the episode, which means the other one must play the con and attack it. And if you are looking for legitimate, well-thought-out criticisms, this might not be the podcast for you.
No.
Our one rule here is the con only has to attack while we go through the synopsis, and if they say anything positive about the movie during that time, they incur a penalty, and will have to say something nice about a movie they hate, which the pro gets to decide.
Mm-hmm.
Katrina is the pro today. And if she catches a rule break from me, you're going to hear this sound.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
So yeah, I'm the con.
Mm-hmm.
So
what are you going to do about it?
I am going to break this movie, like Elvira breaking gate bars with her gigantic titties.
Okay, so that can only mean we are talking about the 1988 absolute classic Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Hey, Katrina Porter.
What?
I can't help but notice we sound a little different.
It's because we're on location.
Yes, we are.
In our favorite place in the world. Actually, where the podcast was our brainchild.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to explain a little bit about what this place is for us?
I'll do it real fast.
Okay.
There's an author named Nora Roberts. She also writes as J.D. Robb. She's wonderful. She's sold millions and hundreds of millions of books. She's very prolific. She's great. She's from a town called Boonesboro, Maryland, where she lives. She wrote a trilogy about an inn in Boonesboro, and then she took over a beautiful historic building downtown Boonesboro. She turned it into an inn, and all of the rooms are based on literary couples. Mm-hmm. I typically stay in Wesley and Buttercup from Princess Bride. Not this time. I'm in Jane and Rochester from Jane Eyre. We love it so much, but we also love you. So we're recording while we're here.
We are in a place that we absolutely love. We are sitting next to a fainting couch, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm in Titanian Oberon. And
always.
I've stayed in all the rooms. I typically stay in Titanian Oberon because I love it. It's pretty.
We're probably going to sound different. God knows how much nonsense is going to be picked up on the mics. Sorry about that. We're doing our best. And
yeah, I like that you pulled in a table from the porch.
Yeah, I did. Heck yeah, I did.
So we could record. It is metal. So yeah, you might hear a whole lot of things that I can't edit out.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because I don't know how.
You don't edit. This is what the people hear is exactly what happens.
Right. All those clips and stuff that you hear just happen naturally.
It's not naturally. It's us doing it. We are amazing. Hey, so do you want a few minutes to drink your kombucha or whatever that stuff is called?
Kalamocho.
Okay, whatever. I'm going to mix things up a little bit. I'm going to tell you about Cassandra Peterson, who plays Elvira. I'm going to tell you a little bit of her background to get the episode started. So as I'm telling you right now about Cassandra Peterson, this is not the synopsis.
Okay.
So you don't have to open your lying mouth.
I haven't heard Bane tell us to let the games begin.
Hold on. So Cassandra Peterson, she started her career at the age of 17 as a topless dancer in Vegas.
Huh. That makes so much sense for this movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She met Elvis.
Oh.
And he gave her what she considers to be very good career advice. He said, you need to get the hell out of Las Vegas and pursue your singing career.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Because we hear her sing at the end of this movie,
She's-
and that is definitely a criticism.
She's a songbird. What are you talking about?
No, she's a great person, and she's hysterical, and I love, 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 love her. Singing may not be the strongest part of her
Okay, listen.
abilities.
Right. If you want to tell Elvis he's wrong in your vast experience, you go ahead and do that. I'm not saying that. Do you know what is important about her that's related to us?
Possibly?
She's from Manhattan, Kansas.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh. She's from Manhattan, which is like an hour and 8 minutes, depending on how fast you drive from where we live.
No wonder she got out at 17 and just went straight to Vegas.
Right. She's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. There's nothing but cows and wheat. So, if you think of Elvira, if you've seen this movie, you think of her iconic look and her iconic dress. As the episode gets on, I'll tell you a little bit about the person responsible for that.
Oh.
I will tell you, though, the cut of the dress was very
Low?
strategic.
Oh.
And her hair being really long in the back was very strategic because she was in a pretty bad accident when she was a teenager, and she has scars on her shoulders and her back. And so the cut of the dress and her hair is to cover those scars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cassandra.
She just perseveres. That's when I think of Elvira, I think of perseverance.
She turned scars into stardom.
You know what?
Scardom.
We all have our strengths. I'll tell you one more thing. Gather round, children.
Yes.
As we've mentioned before the days of streaming, movies came out on VHSs. VHSs?
Sure.
VHSs.
VHSI.
This movie came out in February. So the tagline, the promotional line was, "What a pair, Elvira and Valentine's Day."
What does that have to do with VHSs?
That was the tagline on the promotional, like in the video stores.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not going to say much about the actors at the beginning. I'll talk about them a little bit as we go along.
Okay.
But the main thing to know is the songbird Elvira is played by Cassandra Peterson.
Songbird. Wow.
So anything else to say before we get this going? Too late. Play the fucking song.
Let the games begin.
The movie opens with a movie that I cannot believe my husband has not made me watch, which is called It Conquered the World. Elvira is the hostess, and she gets rushed off the stage.
Excuse me. First, we see Elvira.
Yeah, she's lounging on a couch.
Yeah, you know what? She's not wearing a bra for her enormous boobies. That's a con. Laugh all you want, but she is going to have back problems.
Well, I think your con is stupid.
What? That she needs to be wearing a bra?
She doesn't look like she needs to be wearing a bra. Her boobs look great. Thank you
Well,
for
this
giving...
movie makes it seem like we're going to watch It Conquer the World, and I wanted to watch that, but it was a fake out. That's a con.
Okay. Thank you for giving me some insight into how stupid your takes are going to be.
You're welcome.
I had a feeling.
Oh, they were real dumb.
Elvira gets rushed off the set so the news can be read. Do you want to know who the news anchor is?
I think I know.
The news anchor is based on someone that Cassandra Peterson knew in real life. That character. She is played by Tress MacNeille.
Yay!
Who later voiced Boobarella, an Elvira spinoff on The Simpsons.
Oh! Okay.
How do you know her?
Tress MacNeille. I love cartoons quite a lot, and she is extremely prolific. I think probably her most... I think maybe her most famous would be Dot from Animaniacs. But she did tons of stuff for The Simpsons. Any cartoon you saw in the 90s, 2000s, there's a good chance she was in it. She was one of the voices for it. I love her.
The news station owner tries to charm Elvira by saying, "It's milking time."
Excuse me, it's milking time made me think of It's Morbin Time, which makes me think of the movie Morpheus. That's a con.
What is wrong about Morpheus? Oh, wait. Are you thinking of Morbius?
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said Morpheus.
Okay, I was thinking of Morbius.
Okay, you said Morpheus.
I said Morpheus because I wrote Morpheus.
Okay, well...
But what I meant was Morbius.
Okay, that's a con for you. I have a con for you. You just said Morpheus when you meant something else. You confused the listeners. Everyone loves The Matrix. Boom.
Everybody does love The Matrix. You know what everybody doesn't love? Morbius. It's Morbin time.
Well, she kicks his ass and gets fired. And her manager, Manny, tells her dream show at the Flamingo is a no-go unless she can come up with $50,000. But thank God, she gets a telegram that her great Aunt Morgana died, and she's in the will.
A telegram?
Of course.
What is this, the fucking Civil War?
Yes.
My dearest Elvira, I hope this missive finds you well, and I count the days when you shall be in my arms again.
But
I've just received word of the passing of your great Aunt Morgana, who finally succumbed to the typhoid fever.
Okay, but who do you think is sending this telegram? Her great uncle, Vincent, that we will talk about in a little bit, doesn't even know she exists, so he's not sending the telegram.
No.
Okay, that's a con. What you just said is nonsense.
Who sent it?
Okay, so anyway, she is off to Falwell, Massachusetts for the reading of the will.
Also, she shouldn't be driving in those heels. That's dangerous.
She is so skilled. So speaking of driving, her badass car is a 1958 T-Bird hardtop, and my extensive car knowledge tells me it's a really cool car.
That's what your extensive car knowledge tells you?
Yeah.
That technically speaking, it's a really cool car.
Yeah, it's a 58 T-Bird. Woo!
What kind of engine do they have in that thing?
An 8.
An 8?
8 engine.
An 8 engine.
Yeah. Turbo engine.
It's turbo time. That makes me think of Morbin time again. That's a con.
She had this car, but in 2021, she sold the steering wheel, the license plate cover, the hood, and the dashboard ornament for $20,000. On her journey, she stops for gas, and the gas attendant, who doesn't give a shit, is co-writer John Paragon, who some of us know as Jambi from Pee-wee's Playhouse. And as I will mention repeatedly, she met him in The Groundlings, which is a comedy troupe. Troupe.
Did you say trout?
No, I didn't say trout.
It sounded like you said trout.
Wine, get in my belly.
Trout?
Whatever.
Trite?
Anyway, everyone knows about The Groundlings, and that's where she met John Paragon.
Jambi.
The hitchhiker she picked up is Joey Aarons, who she also met in The Groundlings.
You know I have a problem with her eating in her car, right?
Well, of course I do.
A hot dog?
Well, you know I have a problem with anyone eating a hot dog. They're horrifying. Except I do like brats, though, if they're crispy.
Well, yeah, because they're delicious. But you wouldn't eat one in a car, especially not one that is black and supposedly beautiful, as you said, and with an 8 engine.
I changed that to turbo engine. Toot toot.
My point stands. You don't, everybody knows. This is not a driving test. You don't eat in a turbo car, toot toot. I like that when she pulls up next to the Amish couple, that for some reason they're the ones that are nice to her.
Well, the Amish people are super nice.
Well, yes, generally they are, except that when I wrote this note, I didn't realize it would sound like a pro. Like a compliment. So never mind.
As she pulls up to Falwell, Massachusetts, the roof of her car flies off, which is wont to happen.
With a turbo engine?
A 1958 T-Bird. Yeah, do I have to go my cousin Vinny? It happens.
The 64 Skylark had a regular differential, which anyone who's been stuck in the mud in Alabama knows. You step on the gas, one tire spins, the other tire does nothing.
We meet local Nosy Nellie, Chastity Pariah, who is played by Edie McClurg of Ferris Bueller fame, along with a million other things, who Cassandra Peterson met in The Groundlings.
Yeah, she was also with the Pee Wee Herman crew because she was Hermit Hattie.
Yes.
What does she mean, young lady? Aren't they like the same age?
Well, I mean, no.
They were the Groundlings.
You know...
They've got to be pretty close.
Yeah, movie magic. Okay, so there are some teenage boys that kind of gather around the car.
Uh-huh.
The teenage boys, those characters were added to the movie to try to engage a younger audience. This is true, yeah.
Okay.
Guess who auditioned as one of the younger boys, and Cassandra Peterson didn't give him the part?
Who?
Brad Pitt.
No fucking way.
She didn't give him the part because he was so attractive.
Yes.
That she thought, well, nobody's going to believe that she would rather be with Bob than with Brad Pitt. Right. So Brad Pitt didn't get the part.
Okay, this is trivia.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not getting a button push.
Correct.
Well, I can see her logic with that.
But
instead, oh, holy shit, Marbles, it's the Wizard Master from Dream Warriors.
Right. Right. Okay.
In my dreams, I'm the Wizard Master.
Yeah. Her notes on Brad Pitt were, and I quote, yum yum.
That's funny. Those are almost always my notes about Brad Pitt.
He later bought the Gothic-style mansion, her Gothic-style mansion in L.A.
Oh, okay. Not in this movie.
No, not in this movie.
The ridiculous house.
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Circular. So Elvira gets her car towed. She finds out she's going to have to be in town for a few days. Mm-hmm. She goes to rent a hotel room. They're not very nice to her.
No, they're not.
They don't treat her very nicely.
They do not.
But she goes out and she's looking for some fun because that's what Elvira does.
So you go to the most fun place on earth.
Well, the bowling alley. In Falwell, Massachusetts, I feel like that's what you do.
I love to bowl. I feel like they're making this seem like they're sarcastically going to the bowling alley. It's like, oh, look, in a small town, the only thing fun to do is the bowling alley. I fucking love bowling. That's a con.
We meet Travis and Billy, who are played by Jeff Conaway of Taxi and Grease fame, and Frank Collison of Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman fame.
Is that what he was from?
Yep.
I recognized him.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He was like, he's reading the comic and he's like,
They must think we're really stupid. They're gonna kill Spider-Man with plutonium. He's got radioactive blood.
I don't like being portrayed that way in film. That's a con.
Oh my god. Your notes are so stupid.
Oh, and me, oh my, Jeff Conaway. I just assumed that they paid him in Coke.
I know you know who the bartender is.
Why, it's Miss Yvonne.
Lynn Marie Stewart, who was Miss Yvonne on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yes.
Paul Rubens was supposed to have a cameo, but he was filming Big Top Pee-wee at the time. Cassandra Peterson had a small part in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Do you remember who directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, isn't that Tim Burton?
It was Tim Burton,
yeah.
And that's who Cassandra Peterson wanted to direct this.
Yeah, oh God.
But that loser was doing Beetlejuice.
Holy shit. Oh my God, if he would have done this.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I can imagine. That is absolutely what I'm going to dream about tonight. Okay, so we know, I'm so sorry, what's her name again that plays Miss Yvonne?
Lynn Marie Stewart.
Lynn Marie Stewart. I have a very difficult time holding on to her name, and I'm so sorry. So we know her from Pee-wee, but most people, younger people, I guess now, probably know her as Charlie Kelly's mom in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh,
she's hysterical.
Yeah, well, everybody's hysterical in that.
She has cancer. They make her say that.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
Bob says he runs a movie theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Bob, it's your dog Leia's spirit human.
I know, Bob is so stupid. Bob says he runs a movie theater, but they mostly play G-rated movies. And Elvira says, I don't mind G-rated movies as long as there's lots of sex and violence. We get to the part of the movie where the will reading occurs, which is so funny. And Elvira meets her uncle, Vincent, who she calls henceforth Uncle Vinny.
How does he not know who she is?
Well, he didn't know she existed. Elvira was left at an orphanage.
So was that Morgana, was that his sister?
Families have secrets. Newsflash. Guess who he was named after, the character?
Vincent Price?
her good friend Vincent Price.
Oh, they're friends?
Yep.
Why isn't he in this then? That's a con.
She wanted him to play Uncle Vinny, but he passed on it due to the racy material. Uncle Vinny is pissed that Elvira gets the house and the dog and the recipe book. All that belonged to Aunt Morgana. Apparently the dog was a real asshole and couldn't hit its mark for shit. It was like those baboons in The Fly. Elvira gives the dog, who she names Gonk, a bitchin' makeover.
A bitchin' makeover.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Oh, come on. Okay, first of all, that's when she first sees the house. And how long has this aunt been dead?
12 years.
What? They're just now doing the will reading? Doesn't make sense. It looks like nobody has been in that house for ages,
It's
right?
supposed to look like that.
Not if she had just died to where they did a will reading. It looks like this, and there's like dust and cobwebs. Like, how long has this house been?
It took them a while to get the telegram to Elvira.
See, the house was just sitting for for what?
For a while. Dust gathers quickly.
For like years? Months? Years?
I feel like you're trying to distract me from my great notes.
No, I am trying to trick you because who has been feeding that fucking dog?
That dog is magical. She offers to sell the recipe book, which Uncle Vinny has a serious hard-on for. But that little rascal Gonk hit it.
She has to be the most obnoxious protagonist of any movie ever. Like, I'm against Uncle Vinny, but I kind of get his irritation with her.
What?
I'm just saying that she's a lot.
She's a hustler.
She's a whole lot.
She's a hustler.
She is a lot of personality. And sometimes that's not great. Sometimes that can be a little exhausting.
The local teen boys sneak over to check out Elvira undressing at that night, and they get a Polaroid of her boobies.
She's wearing makeup to bed.
All of the local teenage boys come over to help fix the mansion up so they can ogle Elvira. And I think they do a beautiful job painting the house.
Oh, yay, it's the scene where they somehow managed to destroy the property value of the entire neighborhood with a house that was already bringing down the property value of the neighborhood.
It's called a painted lady. That's what those houses are called.
It looks goddamn ridiculous.
I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say this in this episode.
Yes.
It was the 80s.
This makes me wish that this neighbor had an HOA. There, are you happy, Elvira?
Listen, you need to deal with your soul yourself. Don't put that on Elvira. No one shows up for the open house because the people in this town are just the worst. Uncle Vinny pays the two idiots to search Elvira's house for the recipe book.
Yeah, I'm so glad somebody woke up Jeff Conaway long enough for him to make an appearance.
I'm beginning to think this recipe book might not actually be a recipe book. I don't know. Uncle Vinny goes down to his lair where we learn, dun dun dun,
Yeah.
he speaks Latin.
You know what else we learned?
What?
That apparently there's candles lit in his lair at all times. That's not realistic, and it's also not safe.
It's magic.
I don't think so.
This is where Uncle Vinny says, the lunar eclipse, Morgana, is less than a week away when the moon is drained of all its light, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then he goes, you're dead, and I'm not. It's so funny. It sounds like something I would say, like, not to someone, but it, like in pretend talking to somebody.
Yeah, I say that about dead celebrities I don't like.
God. And flies after you kill them.
Yes.
Elvira tries to get the kids to attend a midnight showing of a terrible movie so she can make some money, which to me sounds amazing. But the kids tell her the principal says they can't be seen with her. Elvira manipulates them a little bit by talking about her dreams ending, and she says, I only ask that I be remembered by 2 simple words. Any 2 words, as long as they're simple.
And then what did she say to them?
She said, come on, gang, let's do it. And they say, okay.
No, she threatens suicide. She threatens to die by suicide. And then she's like crying.
I don't have that in my notes, so it did not happen. I take very extensive notes.
I wrote it in my notes, so that means it did. Don't you make me put in a clip. Don't even make me, because I won't be able to find it.
You're dead, and I'm not. So we're at the midnight viewing. All of the teenagers show up.
Mm-hmm.
Elvira, is it Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is what she's showing?
Yep.
She gets inspired to do a flash dance-esque number, which she looks gorgeous doing. But the bitch Patty, who's in love with Bob, Elvira's beau, or soon-to-be beau, she pulls a prank on her.
Yeah.
And instead of the glitter that's supposed to come down, she tar and feathers her.
How did she sure had that tar and feathers ready like awful fast, especially since there's no way she could have known what Elvira's going to do.
Patty seems like she has tar and feathers on the ready.
Really?
Yeah, she's a real bitch.
Where did she get tar and feathers?
Ace Hardware.
Doesn't tar don't you have to like heat that shit up and like?
She has a cauldron. Do you want to be impressed with Cassandra Peterson even more?
Sure.
Okay. The tar is actually black paint, and they had to do this scene in one take because it was so messy. I mean, they couldn't do that over and over again. So Elvira is so hot that she's literally the only person I'm going to objectify in this movie because Brad Pitt didn't make it in. Elvira and Bob are hanging out at her house after she gets tarred and feathered. Bob was named after her best friend, Robert Redding, who died from AIDS in 1986. They were super tight, and he was very much, not completely responsible, but he was a huge part in helping her craft the look of Elvira, and the painting of Aunt Morgana in the house is a painting of Cassandra Peterson that he did, like Cassandra Peterson without makeup on.
Wow.
Yeah. But so she really hated the wigs in the movie. But most people think it was because Bob should have been there. You know, her best friend should have been there helping her with all the styling and stuff, and he wasn't there.
She didn't like her own wigs?
She didn't.
Like how her hair looks in that?
Yeah.
As Elvira? Mm-hmm. Really? I thought she always had those wigs.
I think maybe it was the texture, or maybe it was the type or something. Maybe it was just that her friend wasn't there, and so she was sad.
I get that.
Yeah. Grief is a motherfucker.
It sure is.
Pour some kombucha in your mouth for Bob. Elvira makes dinner from the recipe book, and what she makes comes alive and tries to kill Elvira and Bob.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was some like sticky, icky weed in one of those jars in the cupboard.
Sweet.
And I didn't see it long, but it looked like sour diesel.
I don't know what that means.
Just a guess.
Okay. What does that mean?
It's a strain of cannabis.
Oh, okay.
I think.
They venture into the attic, where Elvira finds a letter from her Aunt Morgana, where she learns that Uncle Vinny is 300 years old, and that the recipe book is actually a spell book.
The letter says Elvira. She says, "I think it's for me, girl."
This movie is so punny. I just love it. They flash back to Elvira as a baby who's in full makeup.
You know, that made me think of it. Looked like it's like beauty pageants. That's a con.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Look, I don't have a lot.
The next scene is probably one of my favorite scenes of the movie, and I know you like it too because I can see your face and you're trying not to smile. And
I was just thinking about that sticky icky in the cabinet.
Well, your mouth looks like a monkey's asshole.
You're welcome.
Elvira decides to get revenge on the town by recreating the demon casserole for the town picnic, but instead, she makes a love casserole.
God damn, this was hard to watch.
What?
First of all, there was whoever her name is, Martha or whatever. Here's her famous Tic Tac pie.
Oh god, that was gross.
Barf. And then they get to Elvira's casserole dish, and that bitch just stuck her finger in that communal casserole dish. Just her full she just fingered right in the middle of it.
She's
like,
worst.
Oh,
she's awful.
That was repulsive.
Yeah, she sucks.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, but it helps you get a clearer idea of how terrible she is. She's the worst.
It gave me a clear idea of what my toilet looks like when I was vomiting in it. You know who does shit like that? Cousin Eddie.
Oh, no.
And he's a crazy person now.
She makes a love casserole and turns it down into, what is that place?
Hedonism. Hedonism. Yeah. Did Chastity just sit on that old man's face?
Yeah, she did. Atta girl.
Well, now he can't breathe, so that's cool.
He seemed fine to me.
Just, if you're going to be suffocated by some meow meow.
You just, like, if they're suffocating, you just, like, hit him with your knee a little bit. Like, hey, wake up.
Legs around the face is like a kitty cuddle.
Uncle Vinny says to Elvira, because he shows up and can see that she clearly had done some kind of spell, and he's like, I'll get you and your little dog too, which of course makes me think she put that in there because she's from Manhattan.
Oh, okay. I didn't put that together.
Uncle Vinny convinces the town to charge Elvira with witchcraft.
Uh-huh.
Elvira sends Bob to the house to get the spell book, but Uncle Vinny knocks him out and he steals the book, that rascal.
Bob, you dummy.
Yes, he's like my sweet dog Leia, although I think Leia can actually get some shit done.
Really, what?
Cuddles.
Kitty cuddles.
Kitty cuddles.
Ugh. Why would you say it?
And Elvira, I didn't say it, you said it. Wait, what? This is like, god damn it, this is like that Keebler Elf argument all over again, where I'm constantly confused by what we're talking about. Like, wait, when did we start hating the Keebler Elves? What did they do?
What didn't they do?
Did one of them wear blackface?
Yes. One of them did.
Stop it.
Did. Honestly, nothing's going to change unless we make the change.
So Elvira gets sentenced to burn to death.
Mm-hmm.
The burning at the stake scene took 5 days to film. Elvira was tied up for 3 hours at a time and was wearing like flame retardant clothes, which was like super itchy. Her hands were tied up. It got so hot, her wigs burned. It was just really kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, also, I don't believe that they're going to burn her at the stake.
I believe they are.
No. There's no way.
Yes, I believe they are.
Really?
Yeah.
Show me the basket of cats.
Oh no, not that again. Anna,
I know what...
Anna, I need to tell you again.
Yes?
Warlock was not a documentary.
Yes, it was.
No.
I heard Ken Burns' music.
Ken Burns didn't do it.
Dear Cassandra with a K.
It's...
It has been 4 weeks since my last missive.
You're at the ripe old age of 40 now. You're basically at death's door.
I hear your Aunt Myrtle finally succumbed to the consumption. Finally, she is out of her agony. I fear this war will never end.
Warlock. Not a documentary.
If you say so.
Okay, Bob says to Patty, Patty, you're not a very nice person. And you know what that made me think of.
What?
DMX.
I'm not a nice person!
Elvira uses her magical ring to get out of the stake burning. Elvira and Uncle Vinny face off. Elvira looks smoking hot in her Rambo outfit. Deny it. She needs to figure a way out of the cemetery, and so she uses her tatas to open the gate.
I've had boobs for a very, very, very long time. And boobs don't do that. Not even gigantic ones.
I have a follow-up question.
Yes?
I would like to know the situation and the decade where you tried that.
Last week, I was being chased by an evil guy that was waiting for a lunar eclipse and took my great aunt's spell book, which was rightfully bequeathed to me. And it was mine, and he was trying to take it, and that motherfucker took my ring, and he was chasing me, and I'm like, oh, I better get away, and then I got to bars.
Oh no!
I mean, maybe I can push my way with my boobies, and it didn't work at all, and I just had to go around.
Elvira stabs Uncle Vinny in the head with her stiletto. They have a wizard off, and Elvira kills off Uncle Vinny. But the house burns down in the process.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to call these effects special in any way.
I thought they were special.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The townspeople show up and Elvira's like, okay, you're going to run me off. And they're like, they apologize for trying to burn her alive. She learns that she inherited all of Uncle Vinny's money and she can have her show at the Flamingo.
How did she get his money?
Well, she's his only remaining relative.
Is that in his will that all of my money goes to my only remaining relative?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's not how that works.
It actually is how it works. If you don't have a will, your belongings go to your relatives.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Who does it go to?
It goes up in a blimp and in dollar bill form, and then they spread it over a football game. Like, hey, everybody, dead guy. Whee!
Okay, so Elvira gets her show at the Flamingo. She was super sick when she was filming this scene.
Is that why she sounds like that?
Like an angel?
She can't sing for shit. And I love Cassandra Peterson, but my God.
I don't think she sounds bad, and I was listening really closely because I knew that the Elvis trivia.
She does not sound great, and also, don't worry, she's about to stop singing and raps. She raps.
Yes.
Katrina, she raps.
I know she does.
Here I am.
You know what? You know where we are? The movie's over.
It's done. Yes. It's over now.
Yay! Here we are.
She was sick.
I love this movie.
It is so funny. It is so stupid.
I can't. This is another one. It's not parody, but it's like it's so hard to seriously attack a movie that doesn't take itself seriously.
Right.
And it's a fun little romp, and I really, really loved it. So if my attacks seem stupid and silly, that's because they are. And my God, if people have not seen if anybody's curious what Cassandra Peterson looks like now, just look at her in the movie, because that's exactly what she looks like now.
Great. She's so gorgeous.
My God.
Yeah. Homegirl doesn't age. Do you think she's a witch?
I assume.
So, what do you want to hear from the people?
What's your favorite campy movie?
Yeah, campy movie.
What's your favorite? Yeah. What kind of campy movie, revs your engine? Revs your 8 engine.
You know what? Hey, spoiler alert. I don't know shit about cars.
What?
I know. I think I played it off pretty well.
Well, I want to hear about campy movies.
Okay.
That would be great. You can get a hold of us very, very easily, and we love to hear from you. We are at Split Happens Pod on all of the socials, and splithappenspod.com is the website. And thank you to everybody who is listening to us talk about these movies that we love so much, and we love you all tons.
We do.
And if you would like to rate, review, and or follow us on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast, we would love it. I'm not going to beg. Katrina's not going to beg.
Please.
That's just going to embarrass all of us.
Please do it.
Thank you, Katrina Porter. This was amazing as always.
Thank you, Anna Serene.
Bye for now, everyone.
Bye, everybody.